avant-garde segment, we have brought on an artist, a painter, a writer, somebody who actually does not normally do interviews like this. We twisted her arm somehow. Franca Borja, welcome to Times Square today.
How kind of you to have me here as a guest.
Yes, and it's so exciting. And we have a little bit of rain back there, and the heavens have opened up to welcome you into New York today. So I have a few questions for you. One is, you have this beautiful outfit, and I think there might even be a story behind it.
Actually, there is, because this tailor-made dress has been gifted to me by a friend in Shanghai.
Oh.
And it reminds me of my father. I wear it in honor of my father, who has created the terminology for Chinese medicine in Latin and English. And actually, all the people who are practicing Chinese medicine and even just energy medicine nowadays, they do this based on my father's life's work. Often they don't know him by name because he is not mentioned in many of the publications and books of his disciples.
Wow, and you come from this family that is a famous family, but you do your thing, and you show up in so many different ways, including people have called you a female Buddha. What do you think? What puts you in that realm?
Well, to put it very straightforward, I feel compelled to destroy ignorance and stupidity.
You do?
To put it very clearly.
Okay.
Because this is the root cause of all human suffering.
Yeah.
When you boil it down.
So you want to destroy that. In fact, happiness is
Yes.
something that you talk about. I love hearing some of your philosophies, part of why we interviewed you and decided to bring you on here. Tell us some thoughts on happiness. We'd all like to be happier.
Well, happiness is the effect, the result of thinking.
Yeah.
Because when you really think, you gain clarity, and there is no space for fear, doubt, or worry.
So what can we do to be happier?
Well, I like to say that you can either play darts
Yeah.
or you can play doubts, because thinking is like playing darts.
Yes.
And when you play darts, you can play doubts because every thought is going in a certain direction.
Ah.
So if you
It's like dealing with
really
your doubts,
think,
yeah.
there is no place, no space for doubt.
Right. So give us more on that, because we all have doubts as we go through life.
Well, thinking and doubting is not the same thing.
It's not the same.
No.
Okay.
Because if you honestly think, you don't doubt.
Yes.
You know where you're going, you don't doubt yourself. It doesn't matter where you are and what you do, but you don't doubt yourself. You don't.
Right. Well, we need tools. We need to hear from somebody who's spiritual. And I know there's a type of yoga that you practice and share, Mudra yoga.
Yes.
Of the hands. Yes, please share. I'm gonna let you do it because you'll do it properly. And this is what I love about it. There's something connected to our DNA, the twisting. Explain this to us.
Well, I started to practice Mudra yoga even before I started to walk or talk.
Yes.
And that's more than 40 years ago.
Okay.
And it's like acupuncture without needles.
Yes.
I mean, somehow these topics are all related to my father's life's work. And at this point, I also need to mention that more than 30 years ago, thanks to my father, I got acquainted with astrology.
Yes.
I was just 11 years old.
Okay.
And I consistently got more understanding of this topic.
Right.
We are here on this medium-sized planet,
Yeah.
which is part of a huge clockwork that we are oftentimes not fully aware of. And what we want to understand is we want to understand who we are, we want to understand where we are,
Yes.
and of course, we want to understand what we are doing. Yeah? Once we get that in place, things become much more simple. And astrology can help with that. You can be very clear about any situation. You can be better prepared when you respect the laws of the universe. It's that simple.
Right.
And it makes me laugh when I hear people say, oh, astrology, I actually don't believe in that. It's totally ridiculous.
Right.
It's absurd because we are tiny little ants here on this medium-sized planet,
Yes.
as I say, and it's part of a system. And we gotta understand it. It's
So
very
there's
simple.
more happening than just us moving around.
Yes.
And you like to tap into it. She lives her life like she is on the tapestry. And I'm curious, because you show up in so many different ways, whether it's your paintings or speaking or yoga or like you just said, I'm curious about your mission. What is your mission? We brought you on because we found you're somebody who's doing so many interesting things, sharing interesting ideas, but what is your mission?
Well, recently I noticed that I actually am counseling people
Yes.
on a regular basis, and they always come to me for advice.
Right.
And so I just think I would love to invite
Yeah.
anybody who has big goals, even outrageous goals.
Yeah.
Some people who want to change the world and who want to do this on a rock solid, long-term basis. Because I can help with that.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you're sharing more of yourself. In fact, tomorrow, I know you are sharing of yourself at the United Nations. You're speaking there.
I am.
How amazing is that?
Yes, it is.
Wow, what an honor. And what will you be sharing there?
Well, I will be talking about the Green Future Group.
Yes.
They are organizing non-profit projects in Northwest Africa and
Okay.
Morocco in particular, but also Niger.
Yes.
And also development projects in Bangladesh.
So we are so appreciative that you made a little bit of time as we knew you were coming in for the United Nations and be here to share with us. You get the full effect of our city here and all the noises and excitement
great
that goes along with it.
experience.
It is wonderful.
I didn't know that Broadway is at Times Square.
Yes, not everybody realizes if
And
they're not
today
from
I was
here.
able to educate myself about that.
Yes. In fact, your name is in lights on the building, and it's a big deal in our
Yeah.
city. You have your name in lights on Broadway, so now you can check that off the list of things that happen in your life.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts, any advice with all that runs through you? And I saw you
Well-
off camera sharing with other people, even sharing with me, just little life lessons. Yes, some of your fans are honking at you. Any little last thoughts, that you want to give to our audience?
Well, it doesn't matter where you are in this very moment and what you do. But the most important thing is that you never, ever doubt yourself. That's what I want to say.
Don't let them
And
down.
if you happen to know my father, if you have known him while he was still alive, because he often came to North America,
Remind them of his name.
Manfred Parkett, Professor Manfred Parkett. I promised to him I would write a book about him. 1 year before his death, I promised that to him. And to keep my promise, I would greatly appreciate your help. If you connect with me, I would be very happy to meet you.
We'll put some information on the bottom of the screen so people can find you, especially now as you've opened up yourself and allowing more of your wonderfulness to help other people. Thank you for being here at Times
Thank you for
Square.
inviting me. It was lovely.
We will be right back.